channel, Caffeine and Lesson Plans. Today I have part 3 in our 2018-2019 curriculum series. Today I'm going to show you what my pre-K / kindergartner will be doing this next year. He has been doing pre-K for most of the year. I don't know if he's fully ready for a full kindergarten program, but we're going to kind of start with it and see where it goes. And you know how it is with each kid, everyone's different, and so just try to go at his speed and what he needs and that kind of thing. So let's get into it. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be finishing up the Good and the Beautiful pre-K curriculum, which covers letters and sounds, vowels, numbers, colors, motor skills, sorting, matching, and rhyming. So this is kind of what it looks like. Each lesson is very short. Like I said, we haven't finished this yet. There's a lot of coloring, tracing, there's games. It came with an activity pack, all of that good stuff. And so we will just continue on with this into next year. And when he finishes this, we will start with the Level K primer. This comes right before the Level K course book for language arts. And this covers mastering letters, mastering numbers 1 through 15, learning long and short vowels, reading simple words, rhyming, sorting, and more. So this is kind of for that in-between area where they've mastered almost all the letters, but maybe not all of the sounds. But they're not maybe quite ready to move on to the kindergarten stuff. So I like that there is kind of a middle or in-between level for them. So the way that this is, this book flips on the top too. So here about this course, it says, when should I start my child on this course? He or she can start when they can sing most of the alphabet with or without the help of a parent, when he or she knows the majority of letters and their sounds but has not mastered all of them. He or she can count to 10, and he or she knows basic shapes and colors. So that's kind of right where my son is. Talks about what the course set includes, how to get started, extra items needed, how many lessons a day, safety notice, hints, first reading book, and then the vowel song. And here is an important note to parents before starting this course. Children are not expected to master any of the principles taught in this course except for instantly recognizing all the letters and their sounds. This course is an introduction to reading and principles such as long vowels. If a child is getting frustrated with a principle, don't push it. Simply slow down or move on. All principles taught in this course are reviewed and taught in greater depth in the Level K course. So here is lesson 1. So this is a scripted curriculum, so it tells you what to say to the child. In this one it says you're going to need 12 dried beans. Talks about saying the letter sounds. There's a little activity to do here. Then on the second part of lesson 1, you have tracing the capital A, singing the alphabet song, counting the uppercase A's, the lowercase A's, same with the T's, talking about these pictures, say the name of the images in the box and tell if the picture starts with an A or a T, and then you're going to trace the T's. And that's it for this lesson. It is a very simple and short lesson. And so obviously, I only do one lesson a day, unless for some reason he really wants to go on, because I want to make sure his little mind grasps it. I don't want to give him so much that, he doesn't remember all of it. But I definitely add activities in with our lesson, and some of those activities are, for instance, from Kumon books. So this one's the Let's Sticker and Paste. This is the Let's Cut Paper. And so we've done quite a few of these already. For instance, I cut them out for him, and then he glues them together. This is like a little puzzle. And it's like that all the way through. Oh, there's the certificate for when they finish. He's almost finished with this one. And then the Let's Cut paper is kind of the same way. I cut the bottom half of the sheet out, and then he starts on the arrow, and it's his job to follow the gray line all the way around. So it's a really good fine motor skill activity for him. We'll also play with Play-Doh, which is a good fine motor activity skill. I've got a Spectrum Phonics book that we use that has some activities, tracing shapes or coloring things a certain color. We do a few of those. And then this came with the Level K Primer course. It's the My First Reading book. So it's, like I said, it's the course. They are going to learn some very simple words. So that's what this looks like. Now, obviously, at the end of this series, they're not necessarily going to be reading unless they're ready for that. I'm not sure if I see him reading by the end of next year, but that is fine. So that's what that looks like. And then along with his language arts, we're going to be doing Handwriting Without Tears. And so this is the teacher's guide. This is the Kickstart Kindergarten program. And this is the student book. So the student book looks like this. It's the table of contents, shows all the capital letters, and then it jumps into child writes their name, talking about the frog jump capitals, how F is a frog jump capital, so you go down and then you jump back up, and little line, little line. And then after they do their activity, then they get to color a picture. And so, just take you through this real quick. It's very basic. There's not a whole lot each day that they're going to be doing, so it's not an overwhelming amount of writing that they have to be doing. You know, when they're that little, 4 and 5, they get super antsy. I don't want him to not like doing school. You know, I don't want him to like not want to do it or not look forward to it, I guess. So, and that is what the student book looks like. And then the teacher's guide, which I've used the Handwriting Without Tears student books before, but I've never used the parent guides or the teacher guides. And so this year I'm going to be using the teacher guides. So you've got the table of contents, talks about handwriting without tears and what's inside the teacher guide, the workbook design, how it's laid out, the activity design, the lesson design, the different materials. Now, we didn't buy all of the materials like the little wooden pieces and the chalkboard. We have little chalkboards that he can use, but I didn't want to buy all that stuff. The online resources, teacher support, and then it goes into actually teaching handwriting, you know, posture and pencil grip, the different stages of learning to write. Here's the scope and sequence for the lessons, the different teaching guidelines. So this is basically the lessons for the week. So week 1, Monday, you know, capital letters, page 44, getting ready, posture, grip, and paper, pages 33 to 39. So that's what you do. You know, it's all laid out for you. So if you have a lesson book or a lesson plan book where you want to write like your yearly curriculum overview, you would just kind of almost like copy and paste what they have here into your planner. But that's nice that it's all laid out for you. And here we go. So this is the getting ready, the pencil grip, the posture, paper placement, all of that good stuff. There's a little activity here to learn about posture, talking about left and right hand, different grips, picking up your pencil, so talking about that, there's a little activity to do there. And then into capital letters. Talking about teaching capital order. Here is the actual first lesson. So here's they give you the objective, the lesson introduction, the direct instruction, guided practice, the checking part to make sure that they're writing correctly, and then read, color, and draw, the little activities afterwards. There's also enrichment activities, support, cross-curricular connections, and that's kind of how all of the lessons are set up, and that is how the whole teacher's manual is set up. So that is Handwriting Without Tears. And in the back, they have additional resources. Let me get back there. So multisensory activities. So here you have multisensory cues, songs for readiness. So shake hands with me, materials and the activity. So these are different multisensory activities that you can do with your child. And it goes through all of that, and then it gets into additional resources. There's a lot in the guidebook. School to home connections, remediation tips, more remediation tips, strategies for English language learners, strategies for children with special needs, handwriting standards for written production, and references, and all that good stuff. And then in the back you have the chart that shows all the capital and lowercase letters. So that's his handwriting program. So he does a little bit of handwriting with the Good and the Beautiful curriculum, but I want to kind of foster that before he really has to start doing more writing, which obviously would be the 2019-2020 school year for him. I want to kind of get him to a place where he's more comfortable, so it'll be a little bit easier transition. And then, yes, the Level K primer does do some math, but I wanted to also kind of beef up that a little bit, so we're using, I didn't feel like he was ready yet for the Singapore math. He would be doing essential mathematics, so I want to start with that. That's not to say we may not add in essential mathematics from Singapore math sometime next year, but I wanted to start with this. So this is mathematical reasoning from the Critical Thinking Company. This is beginning 1. This is for ages 3 and up. There are a bunch of different levels of this. So here you have the table of contents and the standards. About this book, how to use this book, teaching suggestions. So here you go. Touch and say, or count. So it would be count the baseball, 1, and then you see the number 1. Count the dinosaurs, 1, 2. So it starts out extremely basic, and then it builds on that. And this book is a lot of logic kind of based activities. How many moons? Color one of the moons. How many chickens? Color 2 of the chickens. Count aloud the number of animals in each picture. And so obviously as you go on, it gets a little more difficult. How many apples are red? Color more to make 3 apples red. It says use your fingers on one hand to show the number of bugs in each picture. So it's a very, very basic introduction to numbers and counting, colors and shapes. I feel like if we get through this quickly, which we could because this is a lot of easy and fun activities, then we would be better prepared to start essential mathematics. I just didn't want to start him too early and then him get frustrated. So like here at the very end, how many triangles are in the picture? How many circles? How many squares? How many rectangles? That kind of thing. So, and these are all the different resources, books, and curriculum that the Critical Thinking Company has to offer. So, and I got this from Rainbow Resource. The Handwriting Without Tears, I went ahead and just bought it from their website. And then obviously the Good and the Beautiful stuff is from the Good and Beautiful website. So that is what I'm using for my kind of pre-K / kindergartner for his language and math curriculum next year. If you have any questions, just post them in the description box below. If you are not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any more of my videos. And I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Bye.